The beef started after Everlast felt ignored by Eminem when they saw each other in a hotel lobby.
I wasn't sure if it was him. I was gonna come up and go, oh my God, Everlast. I think he knows that he can't outrhyme me, so the only thing he can do is try to take personal shots, like your daughter, your little girl. It's a competition thing.
When we had our initial problem, and it was purely personal, like I felt slighted by him at a meeting, like our first initial meeting. I tried to shake his hand and just kind of felt like I got egged, and was like, oh, okay.
Quickly responded with a song called Whitey's Revenge. Well, apparently this hip-hop squabble is far from over.
There was another that I didn't even know about, and I know a lot about hip-hop, but one beef that felt like the battle of the whites between Eminem and Everlast.
Yes.
And so, first off, why did this even come about? And what did you draw from how they decided to attack one another?
I found that battle like really fascinating. So when he came out, he was attacked by a lot of folks, and interestingly, some of these attackers were a lot of white MCs, including Insane Clown Posse. They attacked him, and M did the same.
Who are
thing.
still doing shows, by the way.
Yeah, right.
Tons of shows. Yeah,
they're still out there. And so Insane Clown ICP, they attacked him, and M went back at them and said they had never gone south of 8 Mile. They had never gone to Detroit, never knew the hood. They claimed Detroit, but never did. And so again, their authenticity was centered partly on this as well: location, your familiarity with the origins of hip hop, like the kind of space that gives rise to hip hop. You don't know that space, and therefore you're less authentic than I am. M would say. When it came to Everlast, who had been part of the, he had come out solo, and apparently, as the story goes, he was in a studio or a radio station, and as they were walking down the hall, M didn't really acknowledge Everlast the way Everlast thought M, the newcomer, should acknowledge him, from House of Pain. So House of Pain had this song, early 90s, a big hit, Jump Around. And House of Pain, white rappers, white rap group, and Everlast was a front man. He was well known. And I would say House of Pain was generally respected in hip hop. And they, Everlast, according to M, Everlast felt some kind of way that M didn't acknowledge him, right? And then he just started, they started having this exchange. I forget who launched the first salvo, but it was interesting because M attacks Everlast. Race comes in this, and he, calls him Peckerwood, and he uses racial epithets against him and everything. And it's interesting because when he has a song that is based on "Hit 'Em Up," where he's like, he takes Tupac's line, was like, "Ninja, I hit 'em up." In this case, he's like, "Cracker, I hit 'em up," right? And so he goes into like racial epithets in the same sort of discourse as a white guy attacking another white guy. And it's kind of interesting because the last thing I'll say about it is that there are questions around authenticity where M is always having to defend himself as being a white guy in a black art form. Here he is attacking a white guy, another white guy in a black art form. And one of the things he does is like he questions his commitment to hip hop. He's like, "You're not really committed to hip hop, Everlast, because you went out and started trying to do some old blues music, and we all know that blues comes from black people as well." He's like, "You went out and tried to do some blues, and because you're not really committed to this art form, you cracker and Peckerwood," he starts saying all these things. But I'm sure now knows, I hope he has a better understanding of the musical history of the United States and knows where blues comes from. But it's a really fascinating exchange. It's a fascinating exchange to study. I think most people are kind of unaware of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
The last thing I'll say is that during that exchange, M told his fans to attack Everlast. I didn't put this in the book. He said, "Attack Everlast when you go to his shows." He said something like, "Spit at him, throw shit at him, curse him out, beat him up. He's a bitch. He'll do nothing." He says all these things, and actually, people attacked him at one of his shows, at least one of his shows. Right? He had to cancel a show because people, and this really goes to the danger of like having a fan base so committed that they will go out and start to act recklessly because you say so, and making that, blurring that line between artful competition and real life stuff.
Definitely.
But fortunately, that it didn't go anywhere beyond that.
As a historian on the subject matter, what do you think overall of how Eminem has gone through the space? And do you think at the end of the day that he is one of the greats or he is not?
Yeah, Eminem is. I would say he's one of the greats. I think that Eminem is a brilliant MC. He's one of my favorite MCs. He's one of my favorite MCs as a technical MC. Like Nas is a good technical MC.
Yeah.
Rakim is a good technical MC. Pharoah Monch is a very good technical MC. Busta Rhymes. There are a lot of people who are very good technical MCs. I don't like. I love Eminem. I love his politics. I mean, Eminem's a man. I don't want to say anything bad about Eminem. I gave a talk to a prison one time, and I was talking about the brilliance of hip hop and how you could take kids who have been mediocre in school but be brilliant wordsmiths, and their literary devices could be sublime. And I use Eminem as an example, someone who couldn't get out of ninth grade but did Rap God. And there was a mostly black audience at a black prisoner. It was like, come on, man, you gonna bring out Eminem? You can bring out, all these other black dudes and stuff. That's the feel. I was like, man, I love Eminem, and I felt bad. I should have brought out my camera somebody, right? But M is fantastic. But I will say this, with all the stuff I love about him, that I don't. There's something about listening to an MC and loving their technical skill, whether it's I would say that Pharoah Monch, I can listen to and I like his music and I can ride to it and genuinely enjoy the musical part as well as the lyrical part and the storytelling. M is much more inconsistent in that way for me. There are M songs that I can listen to like that. But if I were to compare the discography of Kanye West and the discography of Eminem, there are far more Kanye songs I could just listen to and enjoy than Eminem songs, although Eminem is a much better MC. So,
Right.
A Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, pretty much top to bottom, I can listen to that album. Late Registration, College Dropout, I can just listen to, but I can't say that with Eminem albums. I can just listen to them all the way through.
I feel that.
They're brilliant songs. And so that's when Kendrick comes up. Kendrick is someone that brings together both. Like he's a brilliant MC, great production. I listened to like this last album, like Squabble Up, all the way through. I'm listening to this album. I love it, and he's a brilliant technical MC. And unlike like Nas is like M for me, where Nas is great, but again, I can listen to if I took his discography and compare it to Eminem or Jay-Z, I'm listening to Kanye or Jay-Z. I'm listening to Jay-Z or Kanye way more than Nas, just in terms of like just the music, the production, the flow, and everything, and with all that together. So yeah, I think that Eminem is one of the greats. I think that his staying power is clear. I mean, very few people can say they've been around for 25 years, and people still talk about them. They still move units. You're talking about a handful of how many? 4 people, maybe 3 people. Jay-Z, M. I mean, I know these random. I mean, not to diss anybody, but you have some MCs that have come up, but
right.
There's sentimental appreciation for them. But I'm not sure any of them are going gold, or platinum. And but M can do that. Jay-Z can do that after a 25 year stint. And so I think that says a lot. His commercial impact, you can't deny his commercial impact. The amounts of units he sold, how he's affected the culture, how many MCs say they've been influenced by him. Black folks who've been saying, I am influenced by Eminem, right? Tyler the Creator, a whole bunch of people have talked about him as an influence. So yeah, and I think that in terms of his familiarity with the culture, he's very clear when he first comes up that he comes out of the struggle, the circumstances that typify, I think, the most. I would say that when we think of hip hop, when we think about the conditions that gave rise to hip hop, there are certain stereotypes, archetypes that we have, and Eminem comes from all of that, except that he's a white guy, right? And and he's a dope MC, and he politically is not out of step with black folks as well, as we've seen in the last 10 years. So he's supported Black Lives Matter. He's not like Kid Rock or one of these dudes who's like Confederate flags and that kind of thing. So I think that he is someone that is in every way, for me, he's a real one. I like Eminem. I'm a huge fan.